Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. In today's video, we're going to be going over a few tips and tricks that I think all gold makers should know. Now, the first part of this video is going to be things that I think you should do in chronological order, what sort of things I think you should prioritize versus what you should do step by step, and then the later half of this video, we're going to talk about some specific, just random tips and tricks that I think all crafters can benefit from. Now, without further ado, I know we are just a few days into this expansion, so everybody, I hope you are enjoying it and do not feel like you are behind. There's a ton of people at different stages of the game, just because we all have different amounts of free time, and so just don't feel bad, whatever stage of the game you are at is completely fine. At the end of the day, you are supposed to have fun, so feel free to only take these as suggestions. But without further ado, let's get into this video. And alright, to get started, let's talk about the first thing you need to make sure you do, and that is finish campaign. Wherever you are, if you're focusing on professions, maybe you're focusing on side quest, if you guys haven't already, you need to finish the storyline. Now, this may seem like an obvious one, but in Dragonflight specifically, your goal is no longer to hit level 70 to unlock alt-friendly things, you actually have to finish the campaign. After you finish the campaign, you're going to unlock World Quest, which is super awesome, but you're going to unlock Adventure Mode, and that is what all kind of gold makers want to unlock. Now, what Adventure Mode is basically the Dragonflight equivalent of Threads of Fate from Shadowlands. If you guys are unfamiliar, basically it's an alt catch-up system, which allows you to have access to things normal, fresh level 60s don't have access to. Now, like I said, it works a little bit differently in Dragonflight, and it's not exactly the same as Shadowlands. In this case, Adventure Mode is something you don't choose. It is automatically assigned to all of your alts, so you can choose to ignore it, or you can choose to benefit from it. And so what this looks like is your level 60, going straight into the Dragon Isles. Once you are here, if you look at your map, you're immediately going to have access to World Quest, which is super awesome, and you kind of have free range of everything. So you can complete the story if that's something you want to do. You will have access to the scouting map, so you can choose to do the story, however, in a different order, and the main thing is that you will have access to weeklies. And this is where we go into step 2. Now, this can apply to your main character if you are just getting started, but especially on an alt, the first thing you're going to want to do is fly to Valdrakken and pick up your professions and level them to 25. Now, the best thing about that is, dragon riding is account-wide, so as long as you have collected glyphs on your main character, your alt is ready to go. So once you are in the Dragon Isles on that boat, you can get on your dragon riding mount and sail over to Valdrakken. Adventure Mode also unlocks a flight path for you if you want to go a little bit lazy, and so you can just instantly flight path your way over there as well. Once you're here, like I said, you're going to want to level your professions to at least 25. The main reason for this is that there are treasures scattered around the Dragon Isles that are profession related, and you can only loot these treasures if you have level 25 in your profession. So for your main character, for example, if you guys have not leveled up professions, or you did after the fact of campaign, you potentially could have just been wandering around and missing these treasures because you didn't have skill level 25. And so if your alts go out there, you want to go level your alts, you might as well do this now, so if you accidentally stumble upon them, you can loot them right away. Now, to those who are wondering, oh shoot, there's treasures, where are they? I will leave a Wowhead guide in the description down below, which has a ton of different coordinates and everything you need to know. We are still discovering treasures, but this is a great place to start. Secondly, okay, maybe you don't really plan on actually leveling those alts, I personally don't, and you just want to focus on professions. Whatever the case is, I recommend in the next few hours, the next day, depending on when you're seeing this video, you should continue to level up your professions until skill level 50. And so what skill level 50 does is this is the requirement for you to unlock your profession quest. So for example, if you are a tailorer and you hit skill level 50, you're going to unlock a tailoring quest, which is given by your trainer, and it will probably ask you to craft something. In my case, my quest asked me to craft a bag. You know, in your case, it might be something different, etc. My enchanting one asked for 2 different types of rods. But once you complete this quest, which is just a simple turn in, you will gain 3 knowledge points. Now, the reason why I say this is so important and you should do this within the next day is because we have not figured out if these are bi-weekly or weekly quest. Because there has been so many changes in retail, we don't really want to use beta as an example, and so who knows? You know, if it's bi-weekly, meaning it resets twice a week, you only have about a day or so left until it potentially resets. If it ends up being bi-weekly, then you don't want to accidentally lose 3 knowledge points by not knowing this ahead of time. And so once again, because your alts are in adventure mode, you will have access to all of these quests, and you'll also have access to the weekly if that's something you want to complete. And so you're like, alright Penguin, I have completed my campaign, I've gotten my alts leveled, is there anything else I should do? And my only suggestion is that you should make sure you complete the Artisan's Consortium quest, which is all the profession related quests that you will pick up in the profession area of Valdraken, and some others scattered around, and you should get preferred with the Artisan's Consortium. This should take really no time at all as long as you complete this quest given to you, and this will allow you at the Quartermaster, which is right in the crafting area, you will be able to purchase notes. This costs 100 artisan metal each, you'll be able to buy 1 for each profession, and this will give you an additional 10 knowledge points. Now, if you are a gatherer, then you will actually gain plus 15 knowledge points for your gathering professions, but for the crafters out there, you're only going to get plus 10. Also, a fun fact, even though these cost 100 metal each, you actually gain 50 metal back. So yes, you are paying 100, 200 for both, but you're going to gain, 100 back in total because each of them are going to give you 50. So you still have to pay, but you are also going to get redeemed and get refunded a little bit of that metal. And so yeah, that is kind of my quick, 3 tips I highly recommend. Finish that campaign. Not only will that give you, access to World Quest and Profession Quest on all alts, it just will allow you to have way more access to everything on the map. And then of course, level your professions to either 25 or 50, and then of course, work on that Artisan's Consortium rep. Now, before I leave you guys, I do have 3 more quick tips that I've seen a lot of people asking, so I just wanted to show you real quick. The first one is the special tailoring looms. If you guys have seen my Tailoring Dragonflight video, I mentioned these daily cooldowns that are very simple for alts to do. However, you have to go to a specific tailoring station around the map. If you guys pick the Chronocloth Bolt, you will have to go to the Temporal Loom, which is in the Temporal Conflex. I will have a picture on screen, and on the left side of that structure, you will see the glowing loom. Now, if this is an alt and you haven't done campaign, that is completely fine. However, there will be hostile mobs or creatures in this area. So you're just gonna have to kill them, it's a little bit of a pain, but that's all you have to do. You'll have access to that loom, no problem. If this is your main character or a character who has completed, that storyline, this will actually be a friendly zone. So that's even easier. You can just go right up to it, no problem at all. And the same thing goes with the Azure Loom as well. This is in the Azure Archives, which is in the Azure Span, and it is kind of to the left of the entrance in a little tent. The same thing applies if you guys haven't done the story. It's okay, it's just going to be in a hostile zone, so you may have to dodge or kill a few creatures. However, if you guys have done the story, then it's good because, there's a flight path right there, and there's a friendly area. But I know a lot of people have been asking for those locations. They aren't super clear, so hopefully that helps out all the tailors. Secondly, I've seen a lot of people, I am actually in game right now, I have seen a lot of people ask about, how to get certain recipes or first craft bonuses. And so I just wanted to highlight real quick this filter button right here. Now, some of you guys may be like, oh yeah, this is obvious, but some of it, like, this is pretty easy to miss. And so if you guys are looking on how to obtain a recipe, make sure you have the show unlearned, selected, and then find the item you wish to unlock. So for example, to unlock these gloves, we have a little eye right here. And so here, looking at this right now, we see that this is a recipe which is purchasable on the auction house. So we can assume that this is a BOE drop, and it says PvP victories. So we need to win arenas, battlegrounds, or kill people in war mode to have a chance for this recipe to drop. And then of course, if it does, we could sell it on the auction house. We could also buy it off the auction house, or, use it ourselves. Another example right here, as you can see, this comes from our specializations, garment crafting into footwear. So if you guys are looking on how to obtain an item, it will say right here, another example, this requires renown with Valdrakken Accord. So I just wanted to point out that quick little tip. Another one to go along with that is the first craft bonus. So for example, if you guys are trying to, craft all of the bonuses you can, but you can't really remember, what you crafted, and you don't want to sort through all of these and try to find, those bonuses like right here, you can completely just sort by them. So right here, automatically we know, all right, we can craft this for a first craft bonus, this, and this. And so if we actually sit here and craft this right now, there we go, we just gained some knowledge, and it has disappeared from that list. So once again, just a useful UI thing that you can do. And lastly, the final tip that I want to leave you with, just because this is gold making and I want to give you at least one direct gold making example, is that crafted gear at quality 5 is doing very well right now. So for all armor professions, leatherworking, blacksmithing, as well as tailoring, all of this basic crafted gear right here is pretty easy to max out. It requires about a recipe difficulty of 60, which is pretty easy to get if you equipped some tools and then also level up your profession. Now, of course, this is server specific because armor is not region wide, but if we go for sold items, right here, these are sold pieces of gear. The item levels that are 343 are the high level 70 quality 5s, so best quality for level 70s, and then the 316s are the best quality, but it's gear for level 61s. So these are the best gear in all of those different categories, and you can see these sell pretty fast. I actually need to restock most of these, which is why I only have a single sale, but these have been doing extremely well. So if you guys are getting into professions, I highly recommend looking at these items. Also throwing another one in there, the reagent bags are doing extremely well as well, so I highly recommend checking those out. But yeah guys, hopefully some of these tips are useful, and of course let me know how your Dragonflight experience has been going. In the next few weeks, we're going to have more, gold making related videos in terms of, these are the items I'm selling, some crafting guides, stuff like that. But I just wanted to throw out a general tip video since it's so early into the expansion. But everybody, thank you so much for watching and have a good day.